So what is your opinion on, about like weight labels and things like that? Because I run into it as a coach. I run into that problem a lot.
Hey. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, bring it, big boy. Come on, bring it.
It's an uh-oh. I run into that problem all the time is it's just like, teaching people to properly bend the pole. I don't know if you're familiar with Tim Riley.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I did a podcast with Tim Riley, and we kind of discussed about how, there are certain times as a coach that it makes sense for an athlete to vault on a pole potentially under their body weight, depending on where they're gripping and things like that. So that's just, so I think that would be a good conversation, is just what are your thoughts on that? And is there a way around our current?
That's why I worked on that project I was just talking about.
And your opinion on it is
the weight rule. Is one of the stupidest rules in track and field. There's no weight rule at the international level. There's no weight rule at the NCAA level.
Great point.
There's only a weight rule at the high school level. And they made a weight rule based on nothing. There's no ASTM for it. There was no data on it. The manufacturers for a few years had been putting weight labels on the top of the poles. And keep in mind, when I was jumping in high school, we didn't have any. There was no weights assigned. It was just the way it was. But every pole over there in Y'all's Wall has a weight label on it. And so the high school federation, and I begged them not to do it. I was at two of the meetings in Indianapolis begging them not to do it, and told them I would work on this project and try to get an ASTM through, and I could never, ever, ever get it done. And the truth of the matter is, and I have a awesome flex machine in my backyard at my facility.
Yeah.
We flex poles all the time and look at it. And the truth is that generally every 6 inches that you drop your grip is about 10 pounds in weight value. That's the truth.
That's good to know. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know if it was.
I never, ever, ever teach kids to jump on poles that are equal to or greater than their body weight. Every single beginner kid is jumping on a pole under their body weight at my place. Every single one. Now you guys tell me what you do here, okay?
It's very difficult because it's like, it's so subjective. Each pole vaulter that comes in here is a different pole vaulter.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, I know the proper way that can help them to pole vault the safest. And the problem is it's like, in order for that to happen, I have to jump on this pole, but I can't jump on this pole because it's rated underneath their body weight.
I wanted to have a rule that allowed for multiple weight labels, or multiple weight categories on poles, but that's illegal too. To have more than one label.
Didn't Browning used to have because my dad used to love that one, the Browning, that it told you, like, at this height, your weight is this much.
They were right on it. That's Herb Jenks did that.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, so that I think I mean, that's how it is. Like, if you were to flex on your flex machine and you were to put your, what's it called, the span? Mm-hmm. If you were to push
width of the span,
if you were to push it out towards the end of the pole, it's going to be a different weight than it would be if you brought it in closer.
That's exactly right. If you and I have a pole and we're going to carry a 200-pound weight in the center of that pole, and we're going to carry it across the to the other side of the parking lot there, and we pick the pole up on the ends and it's bending too much, wouldn't we just get in closer?
Exactly.
Duh. I'm sorry.
It's
duh.
Well, but that's, so how did that happen? How did that rule kind of come? Do you know how it kind of
I don't know exactly how it came. I don't know. I think maybe a manufacturer or somebody said something, and the high school federation decided to put that in their rule book. that you couldn't jump on a pole under your weight. And we were having a lot of accidents in those days, and I could see why that would be a problem that way. But I got to tell you, we come and we start from a short run of 3 lefts at my place when you're a beginner on a little pole, and when the pole bends too much, what do? Get on a bigger pole.
Get on a bigger one.
Get on a bigger pole and do it one little step at a time.
Yeah.
On the way back. And then typically by the time you're at your long run, you can jump on a pole that's at or greater than your body weight.
Right.
And that's really the way I teach it at camp. That's the way I've taught it for 50 years. Truth is.
Yeah, and then that brings up the question of like, okay, well, what if you've heard the stories of athletes showing up to their high school and they got 2 poles. And it's like, well, this one's not at my body weight. The next one's like 50 pounds over my body weight. So I have to jump on that one.
That ain't going to work either, probably.
So a solution is, rentals, having a rental service that you can interchange poles, and poles can grow with you, and high schools can rent poles from local facilities.
I think rental thing has been good, especially with the cost of poles. Oh my gosh.
Right.
The cost of poles is ridiculous.
Right, exactly. But it kind of comes back to that same thing we were talking about earlier. Find a problem, solve the problem.
Yeah.
You become a beneficiary of the problem, but it also benefits the athlete too. It's an even trade.